Hi and welcome to Fleet Evolution. At Fleet Evolution, it's our mission to get as many of your employees as possible out of dirty diesels into lovely, clean and quite cost effective electric cars. Now, we do this via a scheme called salary sacrifice. The way salary sacrifice works, you're providing cars to your colleagues. They can choose any electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid they want from a marketplace. You provide it to them as a company benefit, but they reimburse you via a gross salary deduction. Because it's done gross, they save tax, they save NI, they sometimes save VAT, which you can pass back because this is a essential work benefit, and they can benefit from corporate discounts on some products, although to be honest, there's a lot more demand than supply at the moment for electric cars. But don't let that scare you. That's another reason why this absolutely should be a benefit which you want to consider. Now, historically, there's been a few obstacles to this. So the obstacles have typically been the amount of admin involved, the risk for the employer. It's great providing all these cars to the colleagues, but what happens if somebody leaves and you're left just literally holding the baby? And this baby in this case might be a bright pink Tesla sitting on the car park, which you can't reallocate. We were set up in 2010 and we're rather different to all the other providers in the marketplace. We're different in two ways. First of all, our focus. We were set up by people with HR and systems background rather than lease companies. So we don't expect you to have a fleet manager who's got nothing better to do than to pass on parking fines and reallocate cars. Everything around our scheme is geared around you and to make the scheme as simple as possible. We write the contract variations for you. We can set up schemes literally in a day on a HMRC approved model. We handle things like leaver risk from day one. So if a colleague leaves first day, then literally providing you some months notice, we'll take the vehicle back. We also handle things like fines and recharges. Those don't touch your desk, those go direct to the colleague. So it makes the scheme extremely simple and extremely low risk for you to run. We've been doing this for a decade. We have a number of USPs. So we introduced the first electric vehicle only salary sacrifice car scheme at the end of 2011 for one of our customers, a fairly large customer, which was mainly focused around Nissan Leaf, and we also put in place the charging infrastructure. And we've carried on doing that. We now supply all the charging infrastructure that you need and that your colleagues need to make the transition to electric as well. We were the first salary sacrifice provider to become a Go Ultra Low company, which meant we had to have a certain percentage of our fleet, I can't remember what it was off the top of my head now, but a certain percentage of our fleet pure electric. My background, I've had electric cars for about 9 years, and I currently have an I-Pace, which I used to do about 40,000 miles a year in. So I'm very, very well versed in explaining how the transition to electric can work for people. And we're very, very honest about it. You know, if your colleagues don't have a drive or garage, or they want a tow or something like this, we will say to them, you know, it may not be the right time now, although there are certain things we can do to ease that transition. So how the scheme works in essence. Your colleague orders a company vehicle from you, and that monthly payment that they make, so it's almost like a subscription model, includes absolutely everything. So it includes maintenance, tyres, gap insurance, motor insurance, leaver protection. You can incorporate protection if a colleague goes off long-term sick, maternity, paternity. Even punctures are included. So absolutely everything apart from electricity, although we do provide charge points, electricity or fuel if I choose a plug-in hybrid is included. The only time your colleague has to pay anything extra is when they fuel the vehicle, or if they park somewhere they shouldn't, or if they damage the vehicle. And all of those kind of costs go direct to the colleague. They don't touch your desk, so it makes it very, very easy to manage from an admin perspective. By doing it from their gross salary, as I said earlier, they save tax, they save NI, they save VAT or most of VAT, and they can save due to corporate discounts. And that makes any electric car cheaper than maintaining a 5-year-old diesel or petrol. So it really takes away all of the cost objections. There's also other benefits. The cost of motoring is then ridiculously low, so it will cost about £20 a month to cover 1,000 miles in an electric car, as opposed to costing between 80 and 130 in a petrol or diesel. It really boosts your green credentials as an employer. It's a reason why people will choose to work for you and to stay with you. If you look at the new generation of talent now coming out looking for opportunities, they are heavily focused on the environment. And we do other things to encourage people. So if you do have 5 colleagues that take electric products, we'll give you a charge point at work. So colleagues that can't charge at home can then come and charge at work. And literally, if you plug in at work for 3 hours, you've got a week's worth of mileage in your car ready to go. It does only really work for electric cars and plug-in hybrids because the employee will save all of this money up front, but it's a P11D'able benefit, it's taxable. And that taxable rate depends on how polluting or clean the car is. If somebody chooses an electric car, they're going to save around 40-45% because there's virtually no benefit in kind. If they choose a polluting petrol or diesel, they'll pay so much tax on the benefit that the only real winner will be Rishi Sunak. They'd have been better off going for a retail deal. But to be brutally honest, with the schemes we have available, with the fantastic electric product out there, then unless you really do live in a tower block with no charging for 5 miles around you and don't go to the office, why would anybody not want to make the move to electric today? And you can help them. If you do want to discuss the scheme in more detail with us, we have lots of webinars that you can sign up for, or you can contact us and ask to speak to one of the team to go through the actual scheme in more detail. If you're curious about electric cars, again, please reach out. They work at the moment, electric cars, for around 75% of the population. Not 100%, and we're very, very honest about that, but 75% of the population. And that could be 75% of your colleagues on the way to the electric revolution with your help. And it's all a win-win from your perspective, the employee, and the environment. Thank you.